shit. Whoa. What's going on?
I'm at the line.
You're at the line. You're ready to go.
I'm ready to go.
All right.
Got myself a 10-second mind frame right now.
Hey, listen, I'm getting that some of you out there would wish we would move on past the Fast and Furious.
Fuck you!
Thank you, Sal. Thank you. I didn't even have to finish the sentence. You already knew where it was going.
Just got Hard Knocks out.
I love it.
The naysayers. Come along for a 5-episode detour. Join the fun. If you don't want to, skip 5 episodes. Or how about listening to it anyway, because there's still some fun stuff in there. We don't need your negative bullshit Nancy attitude, my friends. All right? You don't want it? Click off. It's a free fucking podcast, okay? It's bullshit. This is bullshit.
I love everything. I love the fire I'm seeing from you. You're like filled with diesel, ready to go.
I got Toretto in me right now. Come on. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was like 3 people, but
yeah, but to those
3 people, I mean, go fuck yourself.
Hashtag go fuck yourselves. Now, somebody, I don't remember your Twitter name, but you like every day you're telling me that Dominic Toretto is bisexual. Somebody keeps putting this on Twitter.
Oh, it's going to be revealed?
I guess
that's impossible. There's no way in the world.
And let me take it a step further. I don't give a shit.
No, right. I don't care at all. But that's just a troll because there's no way.
Right.
You could tell. It's like there's no point to that.
Let me tell you, if the only way Dominic Toretto could get cooler is if he was bisexual,
I would agree 100%.
Right.
Don't forget too, he knows Letty's alive now.
Right.
It's not like he's going to be like
2 women on the hook. He's not going to throw a cock in there to confuse the issue.
I mean, if he was grieving and he was inconsolable, he might venture off to the other side. But
right.
I don't hold it against him.
How great would that be, though, if, like, you take Letty out for the next 2 movies and it's just like a twink? he's just driving around with a twink.
That's funny.
It would be phenomenal. It would be the best movie ever.
That would make money.
Yeah.
Not that this doesn't already. I've been so frustrated in relationships. I often prayed that an alien life form would land and inhabit the earth because I was done with women,
right? And
men isn't my thing,
right?
So I was just like, if an alien landed, I could sleep with that.
I've said to every girlfriend I ever had, and this might explain my history of failed relationships. I've always said, like, if trees had vaginas, you'd be out of business. And then also,
why trees? If anything had a vagina,
yeah, really. But a tree you could grow a forest full of vaginas.
Right.
I'd be like, you and your bullshit would be out of business. Out of business.
I mean, if trees had penises, I'm sure a lot of us would be out of business.
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
And then, we did on a Tenderloin podcast years and years ago the sex robot conversation.
Oh, was that on the Tenderloins one?
Yeah.
Right.
Sandwich oral.
Right.
And the day of realistic sex.
Oh, but that was just me and you.
That was just me and you, right? So it was like an early.
Yeah.
It was like an early what say you. The day that affordable realistic sex robots come out, women, your game is up. Yeah. Your game is up with this guy.
You're gonna have to shape up if you want to date him. Be cute.
The prize, if you want the prize of dating.
Oh my God! Actually,
what do you got?
I went to a movie last night.
What'd you say?
I saw While We're Young, the Noah Baumbach, the new Ben Stiller, Adam Driver.
Okay, I haven't even heard of it. But
so good.
It's good, huh?
It's terrific.
Really?
Yeah. So limited release right now.
Right.
I do that thing where I'm hip because I live in a major city.
Yeah.
But I saw a preview and in the lobby I saw the poster for it. I think it's called Ex Machina.
Oh, it looks awesome.
Oh my!
It's already out in England.
God,
it's been out for like 2 months.
The poster is just like it's 4 stars from like every credible thing. And I watched. Did you see the
trailer? I saw the trailer.
Of the artificial intelligence,
the hot sex robot. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
I don't know that she's a sex robot, but
but there was like there was like
I know she looks like she's got the goods. I don't even mind the back of the head's like plastic.
Yeah, but it was if you saw it, there was sexual undertones.
Yeah.
It looks awesome.
Great.
It reminded me of that Moon.
Moon was great
with Sam Rockwell. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
I can't wait to see that movie.
When I found out that it was out in England, there was a in my the dark basement of my soul. I was like, I wonder if I can go online and download it. But I was like, you know what? Let me not.
It'll probably be a better experience in the theater anyway. Also, there's this movie that I hear raves about called It Follows.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to see that.
I think it's out.
That's wide release this week.
Yeah.
I
want to see
a
that
horror
too.
movie.
They're calling it like one of the best horror movies in a long, long time. And it's from the guy who did Cabin in the Woods, which I thought was awesome.
Cabin in the Woods is great.
Yeah.
All right. So we're here. We are at the starting line. We're going to jump right into Fast 6.
Well, let's just say this up top. We won't even say it for later. We are having a live podcast.
That's right.
In New York City tomorrow night. This hopefully gets released tonight. We're doing this on Monday, the 30th. Hopefully it's up and live tonight, in which case tomorrow, Tuesday the 31st, is, of course, the big screening of Fast and Furious in Manhattan.
Right.
We were only able to invite 175 listeners to that. So if you didn't get to that, you can still join the party after. We have confirmed we're doing a live What Say You, the first one in the United States, at Gotham Comedy Club. It's 11:30 p.m., and you can get tickets on Gotham Comedy Club's website. And that's it. We're basically going from one theater right over to the club.
Right.
Tickets are on sale right now. They're $20. And we're going to have some special guests.
Right.
Some fun things planned. And we're going to go over Fast and Furious 7 and much more.
We've locked down Casey Jost to do a live version of F for Effort.
Did
open
you
the podcast?
Okay,
I got him locked down.
So that's going to happen. There might be a special appearance by some special What Say You characters.
Hello. Welcome to my realm.
And we got a couple of buddies too. A good friend of ours, Mark Norman. He's a hysterical comic.
Yeah, he's coming to the movie, right?
He's going to come to the movie, and he's going to come hang on stage.
Great.
He's just look him up right now. He's one of the funniest dudes in the world. And more. It's just going to be so much fun.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, and also we have a show in Nashville.
Yes,
congratulations, Sal.
Boom. We're doing it. That was a weak high five, but we're doing it.
That's all right. 3 p.m. at Zany's.
That's right. On Saturday.
Yes.
No,
Saturday.
Oh, did I get that right?
I believe it's Saturday.
Okay, the 18th.
Yeah,
that's
the 18th.
Correct.
Saturday.
Yes. It's 2 days after our show.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, it's going to be one of those fun ones. It's like 3 p.m.
Oh, we're just going to put a bottle of Jameson on the table.
Yeah, this one's going to be insane. Yeah. Insane. Right. Because
we have time to prepare.
We have time to prepare, and we will make it special. And it's going to be amidst a festival. There's already good energy and stuff like that. And then there may be many surprises there.
Yeah.
Because we have so many friends at the festival that are notable and funny and everything, and it'll probably be a mixed bag. It'll probably be longer than usual.
I'm looking at it until Zany throws us off the stage.
And Zany's are good friends of ours, and so we're so happy to be there, especially. And I think it's going to be like one huge party. I honestly believe that one is like all bets are off.
Yeah.
It's 3 p.m. on a Saturday. I think we'll literally be passing around bottles of Jameson.
Ian Morris,
the
In-Betweeners guy who we've talked about many, many times, who I love with an almost homoerotic passion, is going to be in town, so he'll be at the show, if not on stage with us.
That's right, and he was with us in London as well.
He was in London, which, by the way, the live What Say You vinyl is coming very quickly.
Yes.
Declan has turned his full attention to it.
Much like myself in high school.
What?
All right, I'm just coming very quickly. All right.
Okay, got it.
Take it easy then, everybody. Right. Hey, the veal's here. The veal. Try the veal.
So we are skipping Tokyo Drift for another day. We get that Han dies at the end of Tokyo Drift and that Dominic shows up.
Which is the impetus for the next couple of...
That's right. We know that it comes between 6 and 7. We just ran out of time. And to be honest, I don't want to give Tokyo Drift the short shrift. I don't want to breeze through a podcast. I want me and you to sit throughout, take our time.
Yeah, timing fell a little short, but we're only missing one, and we know the reason, we know what goes on. So it's not like we're not going to come back to it. Maybe there'll be like I don't know, Tokyo Drift might be its own thing too.
It's special in its own way. And really, this started because of Paul Walker, and it felt weird to skip a Paul Walker one.
Correct.
To do Tokyo Drift, because if you remember, this all started with us talking about how much, Paul Walker, we liked him when we met him, and this was kind of...
Were we not going to do this before the whole Paul Walker tragedy, or...
We were going to do it before, then he died.
And then we were like, we have to do it.
We have to do it now. Because he was nice to us in Times Square when we met him. So here we go. We're about to start Fast 6.
Yes.
The extended edition again.
The extended, of course. I wonder what the difference in minutes is.
I'm sure it's like a minute and a half. But we're going to watch, and as always, just you know.
You know what? I challenge. We'll check. When we come back, we'll tell you what the difference is between can we see right now what the minutes is between the extended and not? So in Fast 5, there was a difference of 1 minute from the theatrical release and the extended cut. If there is a listener out there that can tell me what that minute is comprised of,
right, this is 2:12, the extended version. Let me see.
I will see to it that you are handsomely compensated. It will be a surprise. The first person that we see that emails us, reaches out to us, that can tell me what the extra extended minute in is Fast 5. I will put together something for you that will be very special.
Dude, 2 whole minutes in the extended version on this one.
Okay. All right, I'm just going to up this because I'm going to make this good. This might include tickets to a Nashville show.
Yeah, but hold on one second, because it just might say on Wikipedia what it is.
Listen, that could have been for someone savvy, my friend.
But that's not savvy. That's what everybody is doing immediately.
Really? Did you just pull the wind out of everyone's sails?
No, all I'm doing is checking Wikipedia to to make sure that that it's
barring that it's not on Wikipedia, and you guys you pull the wool over our eyes over this. I want you to basically. I'm looking for a side by side. I want you to watch both movies. Put the time in, and then maybe we'll give away 2 tickets to Nashville. Along with some other stuff, maybe a bunch of stuff from the What Say You world.
All right, I'm not seeing anything on. Well, hold on, nothing on Wikipedia about it.
All right, so there you go. You got 1 minute to find in Fast and Furious 5, and 2 minutes to find in Fast and Furious 6.
Right.
I'll do it like this. Okay. I'll make each one separate. Okay. So if you just want to do one of them, do one of them. All right, so there'll be 2 winners. Listen, I love contests.
I love them too.
Come on, I never win them, but I love holding them.
Hey man, I'm with you. By the way, do you have another one of those iced teas for me, or is it?
Yeah, there is another one.
Okay, sweet. Well, then let's get this thing started.
All right, here we go. Remember, stay on to see when we come back, and that's when you pause at.
I have a feeling if this follows form, we'll be back right before the opening credits. So don't go too far.
Okay.
All right, controversy right away.
3 minutes in.
Opening credits. Mm-hmm. Opening credits where they're reviewing the rest of the movies. This isn't Pitbull or Ludacris.
There's some Busta singing right now.
Some Busta. I said it sounded like Jay-Z, but you're saying it's definitely
they're
not.
giving this guy the title song.
Should I just type opening credits?
How do we find out?
Well, I could what's it? Shazam it.
Oh, you could do
that. You want to
do
do that?
Yeah, right, let's Shazam it.
Let's find out what's going on right now.
I mean, only because if it's not going to be Ludacris, it's not going to be Pitbull.
Here we go.
I mean, who is this Busta? This guy's a dud.
Here we go.
Only God can judge me now. Is it Tyrese?
No. Okay. It's We Own It by 2 Chainz.
Oh, 2 Chainz is actually pretty popular.
Featuring Wiz Khalifa.
Oh, those are very popular rappers.
Okay. All right. So they pass your...
I mean, they're 2 of the most popular rappers right now. That being said, I hate today's rap. Right. I just sound like an old man, but I'm sorry.
No, you're right. It's horrible. Okay, so here we are. Mystery solved. Oh, Gal Gadot. That's Wonder Woman. So she's back in this one.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not really a Pitbull fan either. But
well, I didn't assume that's what you meant by old school.
Right.
You meant Biggie and
or even way. Yes.
Right.
But all right. So then 2 Chainz and Wiz Khalifa are like 2 of the most popular rappers.
Okay. All right.
So there you go. There. Although Nugget not impressed.
You're not happy, Nugget?
Nugget not impressed.
What part are you not impressed by? Just the music or the opening thing where it turns out that the baby's being born? Or
so far, Nugget feel meh.
Okay.
Nugget say castrate Wiz Khalifa.
Wow.
And 2 Chainz.
Okay, so you actually just want them castrated, Nugget?
Yes.
You think that's
It's only fit solution.
This movie's like 2 years old. It's already in the past, buddy.
Should be done long ago.
Okay, got it. All right. We'll start watching again.
And he's sitting in.
Yeah.
He's sitting in on this
the whole time.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Here we are, 9 minutes, 25 seconds.
Wow. A bomb was dropped to Toretto. Oh, jeez Louise.
Woo!
Woo! Woo! Woo! Hold on, do you hear this?
Bomb.
That was a leady bomb right there.
Shit. Oof. Well, I called the non-extradition immediately.
You called it, yep.
The second The Rock appeared in the background, I said, "This is they're not going to ship him out."
The Rock wears one outfit, by the way.
One outfit.
I mean, he looks damn. If I look like that, I would. You would open up my closet. It would look like the Superman's closet. It would just be Under Armour black tanks. He overdoes it when he walks in the movie too. He always walks like he almost can't put his arms down, and he might not be able to, but I don't think he acts like that in every.
He's great. I watched WrestleMania yesterday. He did a surprise cameo, and he was wearing the Under Armour shirt.
Yeah, he did SNL. We just talked about this. He did SNL this weekend, and he absolutely. It's the best episode of the year.
I gotta watch it.
It's so good.
I love him, man. I love him so much.
He just so. Mind you, this.
Okay.
The Rock just shows up. Vin Diesel just wakes up from he's shirtless.
I'm sure he's had sex at least twice already tonight.
I mean, God, at least. And then his partner there. I'm bad with names.
Well, she's the honest cop.
The honest
honest cop in where were they? Brazil? Yeah, Brazil.
Rio. Yeah.
Rio. The only.
Yep. And she's with him. Obviously, she left. She fled with him and turned to a life of she's harboring a criminal. So
yes.
She's a criminal. So when they were in L.A. and he was living at his house, they couldn't find him. They knew his name. They said, Toretto, pull over. And he just ran off. Oh, no, in the first one.
Yeah.
No, in the first one, when he was living at home and he had a place called Toretto's, they couldn't find him. In the fourth one, when he came back and he was hiding at his house.
Right.
And he was national. This is after he was let go. He came back. They couldn't find him.
Right.
He's on a remote island. I don't exactly know where.
Well, what, wasn't he in Spain? Didn't you say you're...
Oh, he was in... Yes, he's in Canary Islands.
Is that not his tradition, by the way?
Yeah,
it's a Canary Islands?
Yeah, because they must have looked that up. They can't just drop that.
Well, they can.
Because it's the islands. They absolutely
Chris
can.
Morgan does, as Chris Morgan wants.
As a matter of fact, I hope it's exactly the opposite. This is Chris Morgan's world. We're just trying to fucking get a nut. All right, so... Rock just shows that he's a Vince Vaughn. Vince Vaughn. How many times am I going to do that?
Already, huh? Already.
What is that? What is that?
It's the Vin throwing you off. Vince Vaughn's on our mind a lot.
I never say Vin unless I say, yeah. He's on it. We're doing the festival and I keep promoting stuff.
Right.
All right, well, here we go. Dominic Toretto is about to cook like a flank steak on the BBQ.
For breakfast.
For breakfast. He's high protein early in the morning.
That's right.
He's got to do a lot of reps, a lot of sets.
Sure.
The Rock is right behind him. He locates him in the islands of Spain.
He waited in his backyard.
Wait.
He just sat down.
Out
of sight, though.
Out of sight. Unless the timing was such that he walked up when he walked out, which that's more unlikely.
Well, that's, again, Chris Morgan.
In Chris Morgan's world, he waited.
Right.
And I love it. I love it. As a matter of fact, I was such a fan of like, you know what I mean? I want it to be that way.
Yeah.
I want it to be that The Rock located him and drove there. He got a rental car.
Sure. Packed a suitcase full of Under Armour.
Yeah.
Right.
And got there and waited. And then until Vin Diesel, let's go by character. Until Toretto came out to cook the steak and he says, there's this huge heist in Moscow. And I need you to come help me find who did it. I know you didn't do it.
There was a joke in the Moscow scene that really everything Chris Morgan does is right. He's making fun of himself at this point. There was a car on the 20th floor of a building stuck in the wall, and the Rock's new partner goes, "How did that even get in there?" Which is, I felt a cheeky little throwaway to the action sequences in these movies and how over the top they're getting and how awesome they are.
Yeah, let's hope. I mean, in my mind, that's what he was doing.
And let me tell you something: if they're cutting out the action sequences that ends with a car in the 20th floor of a building,
right.
I can't wait what we're in for what they keep in the movie.
I know. They do say they have to keep outdoing each other.
Yeah.
So what happened here is The Rock, I'm not helping you. I would never go there. He goes, no, I'm not extraditing you, and I'm not asking you. You're going to be begging me to go.
Even though he swore at the end of the last movie, I'm going to catch you.
Right.
That was it. That was his thing. I'm going to catch you.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
That was the one where they were dragging the safe through.
That's
everything.
right. Yeah.
And he's like, take a day, right? 24 hours?
24 hours.
And that's it. Also, The Rock displayed superhuman strength already when he beat up someone they had.
The Toretto lookalike in Moscow.
Yeah, there was a Toretto lookalike in Moscow.
Chris Lodondo can't get a fucking Vin Diesel lookalike for the screening tomorrow night, but they have lookalikes all over.
Look like his twin.
Lodondo,
what are you doing?
Come on, buddy.
What are you doing?
Come on, buddy.
Enough with it.
Come on, buddy.
Enough with it.
Come on. This is why Sal's going to replace you the second we get successful.
This is it would be amazing if Vin Diesel was the new producer.
I'll tell you what, we'd skyrocket. Skyrocket.
So The Rock was going to rough up this guy they had in custody who apparently is linked or knows what was going down. The Rock needed to know who his boss was.
Yeah.
And the guy stood up right in Rock's face, very Diesel-esque.
Yeah.
And it was like, you don't scare me at all. And then The Rock threw him around the room like a rag doll, which was the likes of which I've never even seen.
Right.
Like, you only see that in superhero movies. When someone like gets thrown 10 feet.
I'll tell you what, sometimes like late at night, buddy, when I'm sitting in my bed maybe or in my home office and I'm just thinking about what it must be like for The Rock to have sex. You know those nights you're just alone in your house and you're just thinking about like what The Rock looks like when he's banging or what's it like to have sex with The Rock.
Yeah, Thursdays.
Yeah, I'm just sitting there and every time it kind of plays out exactly like that scene plays out.
Really?
Yeah, like he's tossing around some lucky girl or, some lucky guy. Just tossing him around, beating the crap out of him, just exactly like that.
I mean, you're thinking of it from like just like almost when you watch pornography, it's a guy and a girl. It's not like you're zeroing in on the guy. You are not. That's not for you per se, but you do appreciate the sexuality
right,
of the situation.
Just some lucky guy, whoever that may be, one day. Right, that's what I think about, and that's exactly.
Well, you mean the guy is The Rock. What do you mean, lucky guy?
Well, I just saying if The Rock was going to make love to a woman or some lucky guy, that's how I see it going down.
Oh, right, because their orientation is fine. No big deal.
That's fine. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, sometimes I just think about it, what it would be like to get thrown around like that, and that's exactly how.
By a woman. You want to throw around a woman.
Well, I'm just saying, there's nothing. I'm just saying, if The Rock wants to throw around some lucky boy, like, that's how I see it going.
Lucky boy.
Yeah, he's some lucky guy,
Yeah, whatever.
That's how sometimes I'm just thinking about it, and that's what I see, and I'm like, wow, I could take those hits, and that's exactly like how I see.
You're putting yourself in that situation.
Nah, just some lucky dude, some lucky boy.
You wanted to. He broke the ceiling and the cinder block walls with the guy.
Lucky guy.
You feel that there's a sexuality in that much violence?
No. If it was sexual, consensually, between The Rock and some lucky dude,
some lucky boy,
some lucky boy. Sure. I'm just saying that's how I would want it to go down.
Okay,
that's if they could take it, I think I could take it. So it was a real violent scene.
Yeah,
there was just lots of throwing around.
Yeah. So, you were really hyper focused on it.
It's just like I said. It's just like sometimes you just think about things, and then when you see them played out exactly like you obsess about them, it's fascinating to see. So,
all right. Well, so now Vin Diesel is looking at the at the manila envelope, and there's pictures of Letty, and now he's processing. We have it paused.
Right. Well,
we should tell them we have it paused like 9 minutes.
Oh, I did. I did I did. I think the thing was, you said she feels like a dick.
Oh, because first of all, the honest cop came out and cocked a gun while The Rock was talking.
Right.
Mind you, she's the honest cop who was Rock's partner and fled the scene for a life of criminal mischief.
Right.
It's a harbor criminal, and she was ready to kill The Rock just now for Vin Diesel, for Dominic Toretto. Now, Toretto pulls open the envelope, and it's Letty. Now, his world, first of all, I don't see it on his face just yet. I hope I do.
Composure, buddy, the composure.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's that Toretto composure. He's processing the fact that A, he was lied to, B, he's relieved, C, why is this happening to me? D, is this real or fake? Is The Rock setting me up? Are these really pictures of Letty? E, what is Letty up to and why? What is her reasoning? F, I'm in a relationship now. What does this mean for me? G, does Letty still feel the same way? Was she ever going to reach out to me? H, do I leave here now when I'm completely protected by the law that Chris Morgan made up?
Right.
Or do I go, I, how do I find her? And do I really want to get mixed up in this?
Right.
J, if I do go, I risk everything.
Yeah.
I risk honest cop. I risk my money. I risk my life and freedom.
It's a lot to weigh.
K, if I don't go, I'll never know these answers.
Right.
L, it was The Rock bluffing, you know?
Oh, just to get him out of the country.
That's right. Was The Rock bluffing? And was he also bluffing that, like we don't know he doesn't really know The Rock's intention is going to be that.
Right.
Because the Rock, The Rock said he had 24 hours and that we would find him out, and then The Rock didn't even do that.
Right.
So maybe he feels a little bit of like, all right, The Rock could have got me already,
right.
unless they went there that quick.
Right.
And Brian
it's a father now.
is his brother-in-law now.
Right.
And his nephew and niece and his sister live here.
Right.
So going to get Letty is going to pull him away from them possibly forever, and he won't be able to see his niece or nephew even grow up.
There's a lot to weigh here.
Oh.
Right.
He has $11 million out there. If he goes back, even if he doesn't, they can somehow... if he gets caught, that $11 million is completely gone.
That's right.
I mean, that's a life without a thought. You're
That's
living
right.
on the side of a mountain on a tropical beach.
Is Letty worth $11 million?
P. She was worth $11 million. Is she worth $11 million now? What is Letty's intentions?
Family, though.
Why wouldn't she let me know this?
Family, though.
Q.
Yes.
No, this is another point. Q.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Q.
Yes.
Letty always maintained she was ride or die.
That's right.
He really shouldn't have any reason to believe otherwise. So what he's probably thinking is, there's pieces to this I don't know. I cannot jump to conclusions.
Right.
R. He probably misses his other friends that are still in the States.
Yeah.
Minor incentive.
Well, what friends? Dragon's dead. The wizard's dead.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
S. Moscow?
Cold this time of year.
What does he know from Moscow? Not much. Okay. Also, do we really want to be dipping, his pen in Moscow ink at this point? He's wanted everywhere.
Right. International criminal.
Yeah. So, T.
See? More points.
I'm just letting you know. T.
Right.
This honest cop. What does he really feel for her?
Right.
Does he know? Look, he went away with her, and he's in hiding with her, and he's clearly living and splitting the money with her.
Right.
They're living off this money. They haven't had a job there.
No, they don't ever have to work
They don't
again.
need to work again, nor why would they, right? So she's living off his income as well. And there was no timeline for him to decide how he really felt about her.
A lot's unfolding.
So now all of a sudden he's forced to come to terms specifically with his loyalties to her and Letty. I'd love to see how this plays out.
Right. What are we at?
You.
Well, can I make this point?
Yeah.
What is he expected to do?
Exactly.
He's a dude who owned an auto shop / sandwicheria.
Yeah.
Like, what is he supposed to do? What does The Rock think that he's going to do?
I don't know.
What resources does Dominic bring to the table?
That The Rock doesn't already have.
That The Rock doesn't have.
In every capacity.
Right.
In every capacity.
How is it even worth The Rock's time to fly to the Canary Islands to talk to him?
Right.
So that's you.
Yeah. V.
Okay, V.
What about the steak? He's going to drop everything right now?
Just put a flank steak on.
What's he going to go? What are you going to have later? A granola bar?
Right.
He's got to feed those muscles.
All right.
All right?
I don't know if it's funny to keep going or to end it.
W.
Okay, W.
No, what are you kidding me? W.
Yeah.
He goes out there.
Right.
He spends his time.
Okay.
He risks his freedom. He meets up with Letty. He gets an answer he doesn't like. Will he kill himself forever? Not forgive himself for leaving Shangri-La? For leaving the basically the Garden of Eden? What if it's an answer he doesn't like?
It's a pickle. We got a pickle here. What's the pickle company we like? McClaw's. We got a McClaw's.
We got a
pickles.
McClaw's right here. We got a McClaw's spicy pickle. Right
Classic McClaw's right now.
Yeah. X.
Oh, there's more X?
X. He does like our answer. He's now going to take her and flee back to his bungalow?
Does she even want to come?
Does she even want to come?
Right.
Oh. Why? Because we love them.
Okay.
And, listen. Let me talk to you a little bit about Z. Z he's got to do it. And the reason he's got to do it is bigger than himself. The reason he has to do it is us.
Us?
You and I.
Really?
You and I and all the Fast and Furious fans and all the What Say You listeners. Otherwise, there's no movie.
The movie would be over. We'd just be watching 2 more hours of him cooking steak.
Imagine he rips this up, say, tell that C to go F.
Right. We'd all be F'd.
He kisses Honest Cop. They cook a flank steak. Credits.
That's not much of a movie.
Would have been one of the best movies I've ever seen. That was a bit of a bold choice.
That would have been something. That's not how Chris Morgan rolls.
I know. But A2.
Oh.
That's not... That's not how Morgan rolls. So, there you go. That's 27 reasons.
All right.
Again, just to recap, you imagine yourself being tossed around by The Rock.
No.
Sexual matter.
No.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just clarifying for the listener because it was a little bit of a gray area.
I'm definitely not saying that out loud. I'm not saying that out loud.
Okay.
So no.
Okay.
Okay.
Not that there'd be anything wrong with it.
No, there'd be nothing wrong with it.
No judgment zone.
There'd be nothing wrong with it.
Right.
And look, if you're gonna pick a guy to fantasize in your house on Staten Island about getting tossed around by The Rock, it would be The Rock. But I'm definitely not saying that.
Hey, not here to judge. I understand where you come from.
Cool.
Let's turn this back on because I need Diesel deep inside of me.
Okay. We are at 13:07. We're not getting through this one.
We're not getting through this.
It's already the best movie I've ever seen in my entire life. All right, so right away, Honest Cop lets him off the hook.
I mean, she went
a
through
sentence.
15 of our things.
The world famous Chris Morgan sentence that covers everything.
Right.
Everything. If it was my husband, I would go, she says.
That's it. Diesel walks out, doesn't even pack a suitcase full of guinea teas. And he says, I got to do this alone. We don't understand why. Maybe he doesn't want to pull everybody back in. Rock says, it ain't like that. There's no way you could do it alone. There's no way. We need your team. Cuts to where everybody is right now in their lives with their money. Living safely.
Yeah.
I don't know about Han and Wonder Woman, though, in like Tokyo.
It looked like they were already in Japan.
They can't get extradited there?
I still don't know that they're the most wanted of the crew.
Okay.
You know? But either way, they're talking about settling down, having a family.
Yeah.
The cops show up.
Where is Luda, though? Because Luda's in a tropical area.
I think he was in Costa Rica. It was Banca de something.
Right, but then
Probably Puerto
what are
Rico.
the people on the side of the road saying that money changed you?
I don't know, but he presses a button and a fucking ATM starts spitting out money.
He rigs an ATM to start shooting out money, raining down from the sky for the poor people.
Right. Well, the hot bikini butts that have walked by, remember, it was...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And, yeah, remember the girls walked by in the bikinis and they started grabbing the money. So maybe he's trying to impress people. I don't know. It doesn't matter because all that really matters is our boy Tyrese.
That's right.
Is on a plane. He's got 5 women.
He's telling them, I'm taking you to a place where there's a yacht, there's a helicopter. It's the most craziest thing you've ever seen. Meaning he's selling himself. The women are already on the private plane.
Right.
So it's a little late in his relationship.
He's Tyrese though, baby.
For the hard sell though. The hard sell should have came before they got on a plane.
Oh, you don't think he already did that? He already did it. He just doesn't shut up.
He just doesn't shut up.
He just doesn't shut up.
He's reiterating the opulence they're about to partake in.
And he's gonna fuck all 5 of them, right? Like that's what we're led to believe.
I saw 4, but maybe there could have been 5.
I assume it was a hot girl flying the plane.
It was one of the bathrooms. Gotcha. I'm so stupid. I'm so sorry. And also it's just like it just paints the women out to be money grubbing whores. Really.
Well, look, not all women.
No, but
some
the
women
5 in the plane that are going just because they don't know him and they're just going because they're getting all free shit and they're going to sleep with Tyrese.
Yeah, but there are money grubbing whores in the world.
Sure,
right?
There's walks of every kind.
Not judging them.
No,
own it. You're a money grubbing whore.
Yeah, it's just funny that like
there's just 4 of them. Yeah. You can't call the pilot one because at least she learned the pilot license and stuff like that. So
she's probably getting a paycheck.
She's paid. She's hot.
I take it away from no one.
Right.
Make no bones about it.
I did commercials for Grown Ups too. Trust me when I say I understand the notion of being a money grubbing whore. All right, I'm not
nothing against Grown Ups too. You're just saying that you're for hire.
Yeah, I am for hire. Yes. I am metaphorically one of those girls on the Grown Ups 2 plane.
Yeah, I actually take it. I'll take it a step further. If I had $11 million, I would be sitting next to Tyrese on that plane. I swear. But the what made us, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah, of course.
Oh my God.
The only reason I'm not living that life is because I can't live that life.
That's right. And I probably lived that life in like 1/1,000,000th a scale. Like,
well, I'll tell you what I definitely wouldn't have.
What?
A plane that said, "It's Roman, bitches."
It's Roman, bitches. He has painted on his private jet that it's Roman. How much is a private jet?
They're expensive. Chris, I know that Kid Rock's was like $20 million. I don't think that's a $20 million plane.
Yeah, but how much of his wad did he spend on a plane?
That's all.
He has $11 million.
He has his own plane. Probably $1 million and change for that. I don't know.
I don't know either.
We don't know.
How much is a private plane? Google it.
Let me look.
I mean, he could have rented it and had the decal put on for the flight. That's so Roman. Because he's trying to, you know what I mean? Roman's very flashy like that. He's also hungry. We're looking up how much. This is what we do in this day and age. Googling how much is a private plane.
How much?
That's like saying how much is a house. It could be from like, $5,000 if it's in Detroit to $1 billion if it's in like Dubai.
Well, depending on the size of the aircraft, it could cost between $700,000 to $4 million per year just to run it.
Oh my God!
They're not. I mean, this is expensive shit.
So,
oh my dude, no fucking way. A Gulfstream, that one right there, which looks about the same size as the plane.
Yeah,
$38 million. That can't be right. That cannot be right.
$38 million. You think Morgan fact checked this? What is that sound?
Do I think that Chris Morgan spent a moment fact checking? No, I think Chris Morgan knows that we want to see a plane that says it's Roman
That's
bitches,
right. You're 100%
and he
right.
don't give a shit about the logic behind it.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking is he rented it and had a decal put on. Knowing Roman and culling what I know of Roman from the first 5 movies. That's what he did. He's probably like, I got this. I'll rent this. And he probably threw the guy. He's like, I wanted to say Roman bitches on it for this flight. Right. And I bet the guy was like, we can't do that. And he's like, please. And he like probably threw like $5,000 in cash at him and was like, paint it.
Right.
He found a way around that.
He found it. I mean, look, we had a bus with our faces on it.
That's
You're telling me he can't get his Roman bitches on a plane?
You're right. And you're exactly right, actually. Yeah. And he wants them to believe he bought that Gulfstream.
That's right.
But we know that he's really not in that pool right now.
He already bought a car that cost, what did he say, like $1 million in the other one. Now he's renting planes. He needs another heist.
Here's the thing. Everyone everyone stops for Dom's call. Stops what they're doing. This is. Roman says, turn this plane around right now.
Right.
Ludacris says, I'm in 100%.
Well, then Tyrese goes, I got vouchers for the casino. He's the best, which is he flew out of Atlantic City or something.
He turns from like annoying to like, I think the secret with his character was in doses because he's clearly the comedic relief and it's working.
I'm loving it. Yeah. He's my favorite part of these movies.
Yes.
All right, we're going back in. Everybody said yes to Dom. We're back in.
It's like it's going to be like an Ocean's 11 type deal again, where they're all amassing for a common goal.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Yeah. Okay. All right, hold on. We're at 1346.
1346. We wanted to stop. This is going to be a long podcast. We wanted to stop because the moment is upon us where Dom relays this information to Brian. And Brian is sitting on the grass having a picnic with Jordana. I got to learn Jordana Brewster's character's name.
Why?
I don't know. So, I mean, she's like one of the only ones I don't know.
She's Jordana Brewster.
Wonder Woman, Jordana Brewster. I always say Ludacris, too.
Yeah.
And I always say Tyrese, but Tyrese's name we know, right?
Roman.
Roman.
Yeah. It's Roman, bitches.
Looks like a little boy they had. Now, the moment is upon us where Dom has said, I think that Dom is going to tell Paul Walker what he has to do and that you can't come. That's everything leads me to believe what he said. Right before he ran in to see the birth of his child, he's like, everything changes now. You better remember that.
Right.
Dom told Brian that. He said, no more lifestyle like this.
Right.
So there's no way Dom's going to go back on his word right here. He's going to tell him and say, I'm sorry, I got to do this. You have to stay here and take care of them.
Right.
I know that. I don't know how much of a fight Brian will put up if he's that ignorant to be like, I'm going to leave my wife and baby to go where I could be jailed for life or die, and they grow up without a husband and father.
Right.
So I feel like what's going to happen is he might protest a little and then acquiesce, or he might understand from the beginning, but you know what's going to happen.
Well,
it's going to be Paul Walker's going to come in
he has to,
later on, exactly when someone needs rescuing.
I tell you what I think the argument's about to be is that, remember, he was the one that put Letty on the cover. So he feels responsible for everything that happened.
That's right.
That's going to be the argument.
Oh, we'll see.
All right.
We wanted you to take the ride with us, so make up your minds, and then we'll see what happens.
All right. 1603. We're at 1603.
What?
16 minutes into the movie. We got 42 minutes worth of podcast.
And he keeps topping himself, Chris Morgan.
He does. Does his life work like that, Chris Morgan? Like, is that where this is coming from?
He's just draining threes all day long.
Yeah.
It's just like, I feel like everything just goes his way. It's unbelievable. Yeah. There's no protest from Dom or Jordana Brewster at all to have Brian go along with them. Brian says, I got to do, and Brian doesn't even for 1 minute contemplate the repercussions that could happen.
Right.
Where his wife and child will grow up without a father and husband.
That's right.
And Jordana Brewster's like, I could lose right now my only bloodline in my brother.
That's right.
And my husband.
Right.
And my kid will grow up without a father.
Right.
We're here. We have $11 million and we are safe from everything. Everything we've been through until now. All the on the run and the possibility of being killed and everything is all gone.
For something that Brian says, it's a trick. I used to do this all the time as a cop.
Yes.
Dom's like, I have to know. And that's enough. That's enough for everybody.
She's saying the reason Jordana Brewster she says you're stronger together. We're a family. We always were. I agree with Brian. You both have to go. You're better together. Meaning that like they're just gonna go do this thing that it's so open-ended. They could die at any point during it or be captured.
Right.
Unless The Rock is basically, and I don't know how The Rock has the power to do this.
Oh, he has the power.
But so then is that taken out of the equation that they can get arrested?
I think that's going to be explained in a line coming up.
Yeah. So
Tyrese is going to be like, how do I know this motherfucker isn't going to arrest me?
And he's going to eat like a
Chris Morgan line. Everything's covered. That's what I anticipate coming down.
I hope so because I love him.
Yeah.
But all right, so then where's I understand they have immunity by helping out The Rock?
That's what's going to happen. Hasn't happened yet, but I feel that's what's going to happen.
Okay, or it'll be one of those scenes again,
right?
Where
another 24 hours.
Yeah. All right, so I was taken back that even the topic of the possible consequences was not mulled over in any way whatsoever,
right?
By any of them, right? It was just like there's only one answer. The answer is to get Letty, and I'll tell you, you have to live within that universe.
Yeah,
like that's what was. So then you have to applaud their convictions.
Sure, that's what it's all about. Family.
You have to applaud their convictions because that poor kid was not thought about once. Isn't he family too? The kid?
He is. He's family,
but he can't speak up. he can't speak up, so he doesn't get a fucking vote. The poor kid is like, well, in his head, he must be thinking like,
I kind of want a father.
I strongly disagree.
Who's this Letty?
Oh my God! All right, so now we got the bands back together.
All right, jumping back in. Hopefully, we'll make more than 2 minutes this time. Holy fucking shit! We're 30 minutes 46 seconds.
This movie's 2 hours and 12 minutes.
I can't believe what this fucking movie has done.
I can't believe it.
Sal and I are in his living room screaming and yelling at the television.
Speechless.
Letty,
first of all,
I don't even know where to go.
First of all, the action sequence that just happened.
Phenomenal.
Yes.
Phenomenal.
The guy races out of the parking garage, detonates the entire thing, kills hundreds of cops. Hundreds. There's a chase through the London streets, guns blazing, dozens and dozens of lives and cars taken.
Without a doubt.
Okay? And we almost lose. Han saves Wonder Woman's life.
Right.
And then Paul Walker, Tyrese goes, it might be dead.
He's not dead.
If we didn't know any better, we would think he was dead. His car.
I would tell you something right now. If we didn't know, and Tyrese was dead, I'd stop this podcast. I would cancel tomorrow night.
No,
I'm not. I don't want to live in a world where Chris Morgan is killing Tyrese off. I just don't want it.
Wow, that's big, dude.
He's it for me, bro. He's it for me.
You've now switched over to just be Team Roman and only Team Roman.
Team Roman and The Rock throwing lucky boys around. That's where I'm at with these movies.
So funny when they all meet, and again, Morgan now poking fun at everything. If you remember the last one, I said The Rock is glistening at all times. It's hysterical. The Rock walks into a room and Roman says, "Why do I smell baby oil?" And then The Rock says to him, "Keep it up and you're going to be smelling a beating," which makes no sense. It's hysterical.
Then Tyrese is sniffing around for snacks.
He can't wait. They're being debriefed on what they've all been extradited for. And Letty's life is at stake, and he needs to go to the vending machine. So he borrows like 50 cents from Ludacris.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, they are in a top secret military base with billions of dollars of ammo, machinery, equipment. And there happens to be a third-party pay vending machine, which means that's serviced.
Right.
So when this guy is on his vending machine, right, like the Frito-Lay guy, he's got to pop in there. He's got to get security clearance, and he's got to go load up the corn nuggets, corn chips.
And Rock doesn't care because he just shoots the fucking thing to shut Tyrese up.
So in the middle, he's like, "This is," and he shoots it. Which, by the way, Tyrese is standing in front of it.
Yeah.
And look, as good a shot as you are, that's
psychotic behavior.
It's psychotic behavior. He could have shot Roman.
But, I mean, they really nailed Tyrese comedy in this because it just, rather than being startled, Tyrese just starts sniffing through the snacks, gingerly sniffing through the snacks. He's like, his neck extends and he just starts looking for the fucking Mars bars that he wants. It's fucking great.
But wait, so what just happens is, during the chase, the guys demobilize a bunch of them, but not Brian. Brian's hot on their tail, and in the last second they're driving through a tunnel.
a new girl character is introduced. She's the girl villain badass.
Yeah.
She's also driving a Formula One car, which, by the way, they're driving Formula One cars and regular police cars and trucks are keeping up
With no problem.
Yeah. And they have this thing where they're so low to the ground that they're able to, like, what's the word I'm looking for? They
act like a ramp.
Yeah.
Like if they rush at a car, the car will hit the Formula One car and flip over as if it was on a ramp.
They did that to Paul Walker.
Right.
Again, if I didn't realize, I thought Brian's character would have at least been injured.
Right.
He just was like fine. Because she drove by and gave him a wink.
Yeah.
Like,
But it was exciting, man.
It was unbelievable. Now, here's the biggest. This is the part now. The death-defying.
Talking about The Rock?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Rock is one level up on the highway, he's piloting his own truck, which I think he was in the car with, there's one female cop.
His new partner.
Which we don't know much of. He actually abandons the car.
Well, he told her to take the wheel.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Okay. So he says, take the wheel. And then the odds.
They're going at least 80 miles per hour.
The odds for a stuntman to be able to do this.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, it's impossible.
It's impossible.
What he did was impossible. I've seen action movies, tons of them. I saw Live Free and Die Hard. It was in it, or Die Hard with when Bruce Willis is surfing on a jet plane underneath the highway. Like, some of them are ridiculous. I saw that and my mouth was agape. Because the odds that he risks his life in that one moment, he risks his entire life, and that he's going to stick that.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. He jumps down from one level of the highway to the other onto the Formula One car.
From a speeding car onto a speeding Formula One car.
But it's a good, 30-foot drop.
Yeah.
And
the drop alone.
Drop alone. And at the speed. And it's the Formula One car has no serviceable roof. It has no surface area.
He landed on the engine.
And then he sticks it, which I don't necessarily know what's going to happen. And then the guy whips him off at that speed.
Yeah.
And all he does is a very smooth, very efficient tuck and roll into a shooting stance.
Right.
And he fires his weapon at the car to no avail, but he doesn't even get injured being tossed from the moving vehicle.
He looks annoyed. If anything.
He spits at the end.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Whew. Then
he's superhuman, the guy.
A new car comes out of nowhere.
It's just in the middle of it all, right?
Yeah, comes to run defense for the bad guys. The car's on screen for 4 seconds, makes a turn. Dom looks at it, goes Letty. He knows Letty's in that car.
Maybe he knows the driving style. He puts 2 and 2 together. Right. He gets 4, and he's like, this is it. This has to be her.
So the Chris Morgan isms are piling up here. Right. They're piling up.
Yeah, but then what does Chris Morgan do?
He turns Sal and I to screaming fucking children.
Yeah, he blasted us to smithereens.
Letty gets out of the car.
Well, both cars screech to a halt. Yeah. Dom gets out. He's like, "This is it. We're gonna see right now. We're gonna get an explanation of what went down, what her story is, why. We're gonna see this confrontation that we're dying to know."
Letty shoots him.
Letty gets out without even blinking and shoots him right in the chest.
Right. Now,
it's actually
it was a little.
shoulder.
Yeah, I think she pulled that shot a little bit. We're gonna find out later.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
She pulled it. Come on, Letty, family. Dinner, Grace, Dragon, and
I want to know
Wizard.
The excuse Letty's going to
sandwich.
She can't say that she's brainwashed. She can't say, and she even can't say that she was told something about Dom that got her mad, that set her on her own life course, because she was never able to verify it. And you don't get out and shoot him. And by the by,
yeah,
I don't care who you are. If you're a cop 20 years on the job, or you're in the military, or you're 50 Cent who's been shot 10 times, whatever it is, just because you get shot, you shoot someone in the shoulder, doesn't mean they're not dying. No. So you think she pulled it anyway. It doesn't even matter. She's getting in that car not knowing if she just murdered him.
Right.
Mind you, no matter what she's heard, she has to be mind fucked completely, because it's Dominic Toretto getting out of a car in in London or in Moscow.
No, London. They were in London.
In London. And she didn't know he was on the case at all.
No.
So him getting out of that car had to be a wave of emotion and just everything for her as well.
Right.
And remember, she has no fact checking. So she's driving away now just being like, well, that was Dom, and I just probably killed him.
Right. Unbelievable.
I want to know what's going through her head.
Well, hopefully we're going to find out.
I mean, this is going to be a 9-hour podcast.
No, it can't be. It can't.
There's 2 hours left of the movie.
We're going to keep going. We're going to keep going.
By the way, if you were one of the people who got these tickets from Universal and are joining us, one of our listeners tomorrow night, we want the theater, and correct me if I'm wrong tomorrow night, we want the theater to be the likes of a movie experience that none of you have ever seen before.
Oh, yeah.
And we only do that together. This is going to be like Rocky Horror Picture Show times 100. It will be completely encouraged to get out of your seat, to run and do a chest bump like Milli Vanilli during action sequences, to yell commentary out. Right. I mean, it's going to be a raucous.
In fact, the first time that Tyrese is on the screen, I want the whole theater to be like, "It's Roman, bitches!" Yes! That's what I want.
Yes,
that's what I want.
Oh, I mean, we want booing, hissing. Yeah. We want, everything you can think of. We want taglines called down. We want cheering like a mofo. Like tomorrow is going to be, we can only do it together.
That's right.
I mean, if everyone is on board, if all 175 people are in that mindset, it is going to be an experience and a half. I am so ready for this thing.
All right, let's get back to the movie. This is great.
I didn't know you were going to turn it on.
3407, they've gone with She Has No Memory.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Because when she shot him, did you see her eyes?
Yeah.
She was like, something seems weird.
Yeah.
Like she had a glimpse of recognition. So I believe because right now it's very well that she's lying to them to cover her ass.
Yeah.
But you saw the way she shot him. I believe this because everything we just discussed, there's no way for her to.
They're making comic book movies. This is
right.
Everything that's happened from The Rock jumping to her shooting to her coming back from the dead to memory loss. It's a comic book.
Yes, that's correct.
I'm fully on board. Fully on board.
It's great because they had a manila envelope of evidence of the Toretto crew, and they had their rap sheet on it. And everything.
How they got that, I don't know.
How they have this, we have no idea. And they said theyese are common criminals, and then their leader says, "Show them the respect they deserve. They almost took everything from us. Otherwise you're weak. You got to. They're more than that." And then in the 5 or 6 headshots with their rap sheets, it was one blown up 8x10. The other ones were smaller pictures. There's one blown up 8x10 of Letty and Dom kissing and eating dinner. It makes no sense because the people who just got the rap sheets, they identified those.
Right.
Let's say they identified Han, Wonder Woman, Luda, Roman, Dom, and Brian.
Yeah.
They have small photos of their mugshots. Presumably they're wanted photos with their rap sheets on it. Why did the person who amassed
I bet you it's going to be The Rock's new side woman is in on it, maybe. I don't know. You're right. Like, there's no logic to it.
Oh, you think so? So now we're also talking Dirty Cop International?
Dirty Cops.
Because why would they connect and/or have the personal photo linking Letty and Dom together in an 8x10 glossy of them making out?
I don't know.
Not even like, they could have went with one too, is like her walking with him somewhere. Like when they take surveillance photos, like who's this person walking next to him?
Right.
But they're literally in the middle of a romantic embrace.
Well, where did they get the picture from? Because they haven't been together for years.
Right.
5 years.
And why
like
is it connected? Even the person who ran their IDs, how and why do they end up getting a personal photo linked to any of these people?
It's crazy.
The reason is because they had to show them together.
Right.
So this part of the plot.
So she could say, I don't remember.
Yes.
All right.
But they chose.
Good things are happening. Good things are happening.
Yeah, so, we're digging around here. We're being a little bit more, we're scrutinizing.
Yeah.
We're looking at this with a very scrutinous eye.
But loving it.
Loving it. Loving it.
All right. Back to the shit.
She doesn't remember him. The minute she comes to and starts to remember everybody, she's going to feel like such an asshole. This is pure insanity.
All right. We're
an hour and 7.
right.
Want to go from want to recap?
Whew. What do we got?
Okay. The team splits up. There's a plan in place.
Right.
Okay. The Rock and Ludacris, for some reason, get assigned to go buy all very fast new cars for everybody.
Right. With no chips.
With no chips, so they can't be
Right.
tracked. Then Han, Wonder Woman, the new cop, the new Rock's partner, female cop,
Right.
and Tyrese get assigned to go track and hunt down who could have possibly made these Formula One racing cars for Owen Shaw.
Right away, the key to it is, once again, Wonder Woman being a hot piece of ass and going in and flirting.
That's right.
Again.
They go in, they say they're at the... It's the first person we see as the viewer them get to, but it's the 5th on their list.
Sure.
And he's shooting titanium harpoon cables through cement blocks, and they're like, this is our guy. They go in and rough him up.
Tyrese makes some classic Tyreseisms.
Oh, yeah.
About Han being in love with her.
That's right. And then the guy, he alerts Owen Shaw. Owen Shaw being the mastermind leader of these guys. And they come guns blazing. The guy dies. But not before Wonder Woman can get a chip, which basically exposes that it holds all the locations. This is exactly how they explained it. The chip holds all the locations of the last pieces of the puzzle the bad guys need to succeed. It said that ambiguously. I don't even know what it. I don't even know what it is.
But now we just know that there's one last piece of the puzzle they need for their super weapon.
The trip wasn't in vain there. And then Han and Tyrese chase the guy.
Yeah,
is that right?
A pretty good fight sequence.
They end up at the airport.
Well, not chasing the guy. They're chasing the Shaw's team shows up to kill the guy.
Yes.
And a fight ensues. 2 fights.
Yeah. They were pretty good, too.
They're pretty fucking good. Michelle Rodriguez kicking the shit out of The Rock's new partner.
No.
Yeah.
The Rock's new partner kicked the shit out of Michelle Rodriguez.
Well, she got away, though.
She got away. But, I mean, if I had to rate the bout,
I'll give you that.
She was in MMA fighting.
Agreed, but she still got away. So, to me, that's a win on.
Mind you, Han, Tyrese, even Michelle Rodriguez should have no discernible skills outside of street racing.
Well, that's what I liked about the Han, and I will give it to Han because I just assume that every Asian person knows karate.
Yeah, and that's not racist.
No, that's just fact.
It's fact, yeah.
Right. So Han, I'll give it to him. Tyrese got his ass handed to him.
Yeah, so they went up against
this whole movie is just teeing off on Tyrese.
Tyrese is like a punching bag. He's a whipping boy.
Yeah.
In this one. This one guy handles them easily.
Yeah, handily.
Yeah. And I wonder, we pontificated about who would be the guy to take down that guy. Because The Rock is going to fight their big bruiser, probably.
Yeah.
Who hasn't had much of a role yet. And, actually, The Rock's going to fight Shaw.
No, that's going to be Brian.
I'm sorry. What I meant was Dominic.
Yeah.
Is going to fight Shaw, I think.
Yeah.
The Rock is probably going to fight this guy that took both of them out.
The Rock's just going to throw that lucky boy around. The big guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so there was a huge fight.
Boy.
Let's go back and give applause to Chris Morgan for when Ludacris and The Rock went to buy they went to find these cars. They went to an auction site.
A high-end auction.
Where
right next to the Thames River.
Yeah. And the English salesman came over and dressed them down immediately and called them the help and said to get out of here. There's no way, if they're not the help, there's no way they'd be there because they can't afford those cars in any way, shape, or form.
It was basically the scene from Pretty Woman.
Yes.
Where she goes into the Rodeo Drive stores and they mock her. It was actually exactly that scene. It was exactly that scene down to the resolution.
Yes. In which Ludacris decides to spend his own money and buy every single car.
Yeah.
And then later in the garage, Rock, in their secret hideaway, Rock says, so that was your solution, to buy every car? And he's like, yeah, well, if you got all that money sitting in the bank, what good is it if you're not using it? To which he's referencing the blood money he stole when they got away from the Rock, and that is just met with a smirk. So that was weird. Another thing is they put a clock on everything.
96 hours.
An arbitrary clock. There's
Right.
96 hours. It raises the tension. So they have 96 hours before I think the information they have expires.
Yeah.
And so they have 96 hours to be on their tail for it. The only thing about that, though, is that halfway through this, we find out that Braga was the
Braga
villain
from 5,
from
right?
5.
No, 5?
No.
4.
4.
4. He was the one with the underground Mexican tunnel.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we didn't know Braga was the guy. He had a double identity, remember?
That's
he was
right.
playing the second henchman, and then we
Yes.
found out he was actually the real guy.
Right.
Brian puts him away. We find out, and that was how Letty died, actually. Brian put her undercover
That's right.
to work for Braga, and then she got into that accident where Vin Diesel walked out. Remember, he walked out onto the road where the crash happened.
Yeah, he figured it all out.
sensed
Batman.
it.
Yeah.
So like Brian now says, Braga, we have to go talk to Braga because Braga knows exactly what Shaw's doing. Obviously, if they knew each other, they worked together, he's going to know. We go to Braga, we get to Shaw. That's said a lot too. Like, we find the guy who made this car. We find out who Shaw
A
is.
leads to B leads to C in these movies. There's
every
no time for anything besides that.
It said 3 or 4 times in every movie. That's our guy. We find that guy. We find this guy.
Only problem, Sal, is Braga's in a prison in Los Angeles, and as we know, our heroes are wanted criminals who can't set foot anywhere in the world without getting arrested immediately, unless it's London under the rocks, who is the law's careful supervision. But there's a way around it, and that's by calling up Sheriff Thompson.
Is that his name?
No, remember from... that's his name in Boardwalk Empire. Sheriff Thompson, who last time we saw him was getting the shit kicked out of him.
Part 2, right?
No, that was the Braga one.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
5.
Okay. 4.
4, right. Who last time we saw him was getting the shit kicked out of him and fucking up the whole Braga thing. Remember, he sent the team in early.
Yes.
And that fucked up the whole thing.
So it turns out Paul Walker
Called him up.
calls him up, says, I need to infiltrate the prison.
Here's what I need.
And the guy, so he gets off the plane and we see him, and we went nuts to see his face again.
Sure. Sheriff Thompson.
Paul Walker's in a jumpsuit, a prison jumpsuit. I guess he's playing a criminal. They start to talk, and it's evident. Paul Walker rang him up, said he needs a favor, and the guy puts his job on the line, his career on the line, his integrity on the line, his income on the line, his family on the line to help harbor and help
Falsify all sorts of records.
Paul Walker to penetrate the prison, and he only has, again, 24 hours to talk to Braga and get it out. Otherwise, the fingerprints that he took are going to be sent to the mainframe, and they're going to recognize specifically who he is, and they will keep him there for a life sentence.
Right.
So he does him this favor, and we always we're like, why would he do this for him? He hates his guts, and why would and it said Paul Walker says, well, if you're going to be happy you did this once we nail Shaw, and you're linked to nailing Shaw.
Once again, Chris Morgan has cemented over all sins.
Yes.
With a one logical or logic-defying line. It's up to you. It's up to the viewer.
If we're being broad, these things all work.
Yeah.
If we're being broad about it.
Yeah.
Paul Walker gets in there, finds Braga, fight ensues, and he finds out 2 very important things, which no one else knows just yet, is that Letty had no memory and survived the crash.
That's right.
Well, they knew she survived, but they didn't really know under what circumstances.
Right.
It also made no sense why the African-American Mohawked henchman didn't kill her right there.
No.
And instead shot the car exploded, and then she fell down the hill. And then she, apparently from that, lost her memory, but then they said Shaw went to the hospital 2 days later to finish the job.
Right.
So that means not only did the henchman not shoot her on the spot, but after he blew up the car, perhaps for fun, or did he have a crisis of conscience and was going to cover up? He didn't walk 10 feet down the hill and end her life.
Right.
Which meaning Shaw had to go finish the job 2 days later. And when he saw that she had no memory,
He recruited her.
he recruited her.
Right.
Why? He didn't necessarily know her skill set at length, and he didn't know that it wasn't temporary, her amnesia. But he recruited her and he took her with it. So Paul Walker finds this all out, and he also gets one parting word from Braga, which is, "You'll never get to Shaw unless he wants you to get to him."
Right.
So now that can only imply that they have to put a plan in place where Shaw pulls them in.
Cut to London.
Cut back to London.
There's a street race. And we
Yes.
get perhaps the best opening sequence. What are we missing?
I just want to applaud Chris Morgan again because when Paul Walker goes up to Braga and says, "I want to know everything," Braga says, "Well, I mean, you're in here for life, a dead man walking, so why not?" He literally says that sentence. He goes, "You're a dead man walking, so I guess why not?" And then on cue begins from the beginning and tells him every last
starts monologuing.
Yes.
Chris Morgan is somewhere as we record this, wiping his ass with $100 bills, right? And just laughing his way to the bank, right? He's like, "Oh, fast 8? Give me a weekend." Right? Like that. That's what he's doing, right? Like
I hope so.
Because he's not writing those action sequences, right? He's just like,
oh, sure, because he's not writing, the car makes a sharp right.
No fucking way.
You know, I really did. Actually, you bring up a really good point, and I've had this thought many, many times in my life.
sure.
What do these look like? What does this look like in the script, these action sequences? And who collaborates on them?
Well, I think that, because I remember when I was working for Kevin Smith and they wanted him to direct Green Hornet. Right. He said no. He's like, look, I'm not an action movie guy. I'll fuck it all up. I don't want to fuck it up. And Quentin Tarantino talked to him about it and said, look, don't worry about that. Like, you'll get a stunt coordinator in to direct the action sequences and stuff like that. All you have to worry about is the story and the performance. So I'm guessing, based on that one secondhand conversation that I heard, that's how it's done.
So you're saying, but this movie's 2 hours and 10 minutes. 1 hour of it is action sequences.
Right.
It feels like. And those action sequences are like sometimes 5 to 10 minutes long.
Right.
So what it would say is there is a street chase through the
I don't know. I'm guessing. Maybe Chris Morgan writes them out. But I would say definitely like they get together and work them out. Not Chris Morgan, but the director, Lynn, again, is directing this one.
Right. So what he would say is, okay, at the end of this, he might say he'll jump off here.
Right.
Or maybe not even that. I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure if there's something that's like, he definitely wrote in the midst of this, Letty's car drives out and Letty shoots him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The framework of it.
That's right.
For sure. So I just wanted to say that about Braga.
This the intro to the new street race. A bunch of British broads with their asses hanging out.
Well, Han says to... Oh, by the way, Luda also says, I can build an even better titanium harpoon than the guy who got... And Luda attaches a Nas bottle to the titanium harpoon.
Which I want to add another
titanium harpoon.
I want to add another thing to the screening.
Not titanium
now,
harpoon.
Instead of it's Roman bitches...
You're rubbing off on me.
Also, every time that Nas comes out, I want the whole audience to go, Nas! Every time.
We'll see.
Yeah, who knows?
It's made an appearance in every movie, so it has to.
Yeah, it has to.
I want to know if Nas is a real product, too.
I believe it is, yeah.
Okay. And Han says to Toretto, he says, I did some snooping around.
Yeah.
There's a street race tonight. And basically... Which implies then it's again an illegal street race.
Yeah.
Because you have to snoop around to find the information.
Sure.
But when we... And the implication there is, let's go to the street race and maybe we'll find Letty.
Sure.
We get to the scene of the street race, and again, what's the director's name again?
Lynn. Justin Lin?
Justin?
Yeah.
I mean, now they're in full on nod to like how insane it's been, because they actually filmed it like a video, like a music video.
There's cars driving by on two wheels. There's British girls with their asses
but
hanging out.
it's stylized like it never was before. It used to just be
There's lights.
Yeah, it used to just be one big street party,
Right.
and you were catching everyone just kind of doing. But now it is like almost a choreographed, stylized
Right.
street race. There's a DJ. There's actually a DJ in the center of the town
Right.
square DJing. There's full on done up girls.
Right.
A full like burlesque type show, like
Yeah.
a show, and there's those huge tracks of like lights for promotional events going off in the middle of the street. I mean, the setup is. I mean, we've jumped from candlelight
Right.
to torch light
Right.
to now. I mean, the underground street racing. They are literally putting together like $20,000 to $30,000 worth of
Right.
setup into it.
That's
now.
right. And Letty's there.
Letty ends up being there.
And of course, now Letty, I said this to Sal when we were watching, like, Letty knows she has no memory. She sees the picture of her kissing Dom.
Yes.
And that doesn't make her go, wait, who is that guy? I got to find him. He's the
She
link
just
to my
thinks he's
old
a
life.
buster.
She just sees a buster. Then he pulls up to her at the street race.
But by the by, and I get we don't want to waste any time on this as the director or writer,
Right.
but apparently they're the only two racing. I mean, she probably knows she's probably tied into the world of it.
Yeah.
He's not. At least in the old ones, they'd roll up and then Vin Diesel would be like, who wants to race? Here's the rule. Down the block,
Right.
3,000 a man. When I say go, blah,
Right.
blah, blah, blue. Right?
Yeah.
But this one, he pulls up, she pulls up, the girl comes out and just starts saying, all right, you two. And there's like they just cut everything out.
Everything out.
And again, we don't need to see it, but like it's just the convenience factor in the movie.
But we want that convenience
Yes.
factor. I don't want to see.
You don't
Get me
wanna
to the race.
Get you to the race.
Get me to the race.
Yeah.
And she sees Dom, and she realizes that she shot him. Dom doesn't know that she has no memory.
Yeah, which is now that's what freaked me out because he does not know.
Right.
And the way he's acting is not only reserved right now, but he's almost getting a kick out
Like
of
a
it.
flirtation going on.
Yeah. And she says to him, she turns, now remember, she doesn't know. And she goes, what do you have, a death wish? You got some set of balls. And he says, so I've been told. And she says, oh, you want to race? And he goes, let's do it.
Well, he says ride or die.
Which I told you before. He said, you remember, you always told me ride or die.
Right.
And then again, she gets that furrowed brow because
But when she has the ability to say, wait, what do you mean? I have no memory.
right.
Like, obviously, I know you. Who are you? Who am I? No.
Let me ask you a question.
No. Ride or die.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
When Shaw approached Letty in their own camp and she was working on her car,
Yeah.
she was pissed off that they just shot up the guy and sacrificed him who made the titanium harpoon.
Right.
She voiced that to Shaw. She said, really? That's it? He's dead and that's it? Are you going to act like that when we all die? No sweat off your back at all?
Right.
To which he went up to her and he said, look, if you double cross me, basically the same's going to happen to you. He threatened her. Did he mention that he found her in the hospital? And did they both acknowledge?
He did.
Did they both acknowledge out loud she had no memory?
Yeah. He
In
goes,
that moment.
when I found you in that hospital, right?
With no memory.
Yeah.
So she knows.
She knows she has no memory.
She not only, but she knows she has no memory, and she also knows that everything before that thing, she's not in a desperate search to find her identity
No.
in life. And when a clue pops up about it,
She ignores
I
it.
thought for a minute that she didn't even realize she had no memory. She just kind of
No, of
accepted the
course.
fact that she had no memory, but not because of anything in particular. It's like in Memento, like if she knows she has no memory of her life, yet she has a skill set that includes street fighting, firing guns, and racing vehicles.
Right.
It's almost like Born Identity.
Right.
You have to be dealing with that frustration of who am I? Why
Right, of
am I
course.
here? What am I to do?
Right.
And in my head, I was just like, she just was like, look, I have no memory. I don't know why I have no memory, but I don't. But I didn't realize that she's kind of a little bit zoned in on the fact that she comes from this life and he found her and she was in some sort of trauma.
Yeah.
So she should be jumping on any
That's
clue.
what I'm saying. That's what
Right,
I'm saying.
Right, okay.
So,
So it's absurd for her at any given moment to be like, who are you from my... Not to be like, who are you from my past?
absolutely.
I need to know. I need answers.
Engaging in a race should not be her top priority.
Yeah, at all. Or even looking twice at that picture of her kissing the guy to be like, yeah, the fool got in my way. I don't know. I don't remember who he is.
Right.
And now Dom, it's the way she should be acting to him right now is off the reservation.
That's right.
He should not be coy with her right now.
Well, he doesn't know that her memory's gone, which adds another set of problems because he pulls next to her and he's not like, Letty, why the fuck did you shoot me?
Right.
He's just like, you want to race?
Yeah. Like, don't forget, he risked life and limb,
Right.
his freedom and his life, and all of his friends' freedoms and lives, including abandoning his new love and his only family in the world.
Right.
He abandoned them all on a quest for her.
Right.
She shoots him immediately. He has no idea that she has no memory, and he pulls up, and they're flirting. He should just be like, what the fuck was that about? There shouldn't even be a race.
Right.
He should run up to her in the street and be like, yo,
Right.
do you know who I am?
Of course.
What the hell just happened with you?
Of course.
And the fact that she's like, yeah, you got some balls. What do you want, a death wish? He's not like, the fuck are you talking about? He doesn't have friends. He has family. Right? So how dare she treat him like this? That'd be like someone walking into the Olive Garden
Right.
and they spit in your face.
Right.
Like you're not there and you're not family. That would be absurd.
It's unthinkable.
They should all open an Olive Garden, really, because that's how tied in he is to this idealistic thing that they're all family and they're all blood and all that jazz.
Right. All right.
And no part is he like, I want you to know, I gave up everything for you. My fortune, my life, my sister, my family, and my freedom to find you. You shot me. I need answers.
Right.
He's like, let's
Ride or die.
Let's race.
Ride or die.
What are you gonna do? Let's race. What are you gonna do? Let's race.
It all makes perfect sense to me.
How does that make perfect sense to you?
It makes perfect sense. I often try to shoot the people I know. I'm with Letty.
Yeah, no, but this is not the logic of a non-sociopath.
Who says anything about sociopath?
You are a sociopath.
Nugget? Don't see Nugget that way. Nugget think you
not.
crazy.
Yeah, of course.
You ever shoot a family member, Sal?
No, of course not.
Well, you're crazy.
Nugget, how do you like the movie so far?
Love it.
What do you think of, who's your favorite character?
I like the guy that kicks the crap out of everyone and kills everyone for no reason.
So everybody.
Yes.
What do you think about the 200 casualties of officers
Nugget.
that were not addressed?
That confused the Nugget. Because Nugget did not think this was a comedy. Yet there are all those funny cops dying. Jesus, Nugget. Jesus.
Oh, my Lord. Nugget. That is not the part that is meant. The comedy is all coming from the crew.
What crew?
Every time you see a smirk, Ludacris makes fun of Roman's forehead, or
Nugget thought they were all laughing because of the cops.
no, they weren't. They were not laughing because of the cops.
Will more people be dying soon?
Most likely.
Well, then let's keep watching.
Okay. Dude, there's 45 minutes.
1 hour, 35 minutes.
First of all, how is there 45 minutes left? How?
There can't be.
How's it possible?
It's got to be a 2-hour credit sequence.
Take what I said about The Rock earlier.
Yeah.
Jumping from his truck down one level.
Before we even get there, we have to talk about the Letty problem. How it is a full-on mass slaughter of innocent civilians.
Yes.
2 U.S. soldiers shot in the head point blank.
Yes.
She's on board with all of it.
Yeah. She's on board for the shooting of the soldiers, and then when they start running over everyone with the tank, she's like, you don't have to do this.
But she's on board.
But she doesn't stop it, and then she even gets up to go. She gets
help out.
Yeah, to help. Yeah. Mind you, also what I just said was, why is she doing any of this?
Well, that was the other thing too. You brought up a great point, which is just like,
why is her loyalty here? What is she doing?
Is she getting money? Is she?
And is money worth it? She's watching families die and get crushed to pieces in their cars. Like, and the whole point of this was that he can ascertain some type of technological chip that can black out a country for 24 hours, which can be used to terrorize people.
Right.
And that is what their group is working toward.
So she's just a horrible person. Like, if you forget your memory,
Right.
and then you start molesting children, like, that doesn't excuse you.
Right.
Like, you're not
Her past has nothing to do with it. She's still making all these decisions right now.
She is making choices to kill families, U.S. soldiers, and to help a terrorist out with their ultimate goals.
Unless the implication was that he threatened her that if she ever abandoned them, he would hunt her down and kill her.
Yeah, but that still doesn't excuse everything.
Also, knowing her and her character, she'd be like, "F this guy" and just leave.
Yeah, that's a problem. I'm loving this movie. I'm loving this movie. I'm loving the action, but that is a problem, man. I can't see a way around
The only
that.
thing that would blow my mind more right now is if a reanimated corpse of the wizard showed up. If the wizard from part 1 wasn't even dead.
Right.
Like, those were such simpler times. The wizard knew petty crime only. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just petty crime.
I
But
mean,
what happens is they end up going on the street race. Dom beats her. And after she knows he's going to beat her. By the way, it's through the streets of London, through what is their Times Square. Again, reckless abandon for civilian life.
nothing to it.
We have no idea this time, without charting the course or without those, which they used as a device in the last one, without those GPS locators. We have no idea how they know the course, how
Right.
Dom knows the course at all. That
He's just
being said,
racing.
it doesn't matter. We don't need to know the details, like you said. We just get into the action.
Right.
After she knows he's going to lose, she calls him over to the side of an embankment, like a trestle or whatever.
Right.
And they get out, and now here's the scene that we thought would have happened before the race. He confronts her to find out what she's about.
They compare scars. It's clear that he knows who she is. He knows who she is. She knows that this guy knows all the answers.
Oh, right. It's clear that she knows.
No. It's clear that that Dom knows all the answers.
Oh, right. To her, she should be like, obviously the guy knows me.
Yes.
She does. He says, this is from when you were 15. That's when we met. That's this, all this. Now, the thing that's going on here is there's two things operating at once. Because Dom does not know she has no memory loss. So the conversation in his reality is that she's just being she's over him. She has a new life, and she's just being difficult.
Right.
If that's the case, he should be clamoring, if not outright demanding answers.
Right.
Why did you fake your death?
Right.
Why are you acting this way to me? What did I do to you? What are you involved in? How can I help?
Right.
Do you love me?
Right.
Why are you acting this way? All those things. He doesn't say any of them.
He smirks.
He smirks and acts coy, and is just kind of doing this thing where it's like he's accepting at face value that she's moved on, has a new life, and she doesn't want him in it. And that's it, which is impossible to believe. Now, the whole time, she's operating under the fact that she doesn't know who he is, but she doesn't let on at all through the whole conversation that she's lost her memory and is struggling to find out answers that he can openly provide and is providing. Remember, she should be clamoring, if not demanding, who
That's
the
right.
fuck am I?
That's right.
And who are you?
That's right.
But neither are doing it.
Neither of it happens.
They're just talking about surface things. Nobody lets on to the other. No one realizes that the other is operating in a different reality.
It's crazy.
She drives away. Shaw pulls right up.
Shaw pulls right up with no explanation as to how he tracked them through the streets of London to this exact
They had
spot.
just been on a complete street race, and they only called it off. Oh, wait, I got it. It was always her intention to pull him over, maybe?
No, she didn't know that he was there at the street race.
She didn't know Shaw was there?
How would she know that Vin Diesel was going to be at the street race to lead him there?
you're
There's
right.
no way.
You're right.
There's no line. Chris Morgan didn't even throw a line in there to cover
it is. Shaw will bring you to him when he wants to see you.
Okay, all right. I'll buy that. He's that far-reaching.
But that means that I get what we're to assume then is that she's somehow
Called Shaw
during the race, basically, because she only saw Vin Diesel 3 seconds before the race started, and then Shaw says, inexplicably, maybe just to get rid of the headache, I'll let you. You guys are gonna die. I'll let you go. Just walk away from this.
That's right.
Vin Diesel says, "We'll walk away if Letty walks away." He says it ain't gonna happen. We see a laser beam on Toretto,
Right.
and then that was pretty cool. There's a laser beam right
On Shaw.
right.
And it's Hobbs, The Rock, who we've learned his name
We
is
learn
Hobbs.
names. The Rock is Hobbs. Jordana Brewster is Mia.
Yeah.
And
It's the 6th movie.
and Ludacris is Tez.
Tez, I think I remembered.
I
once you
think
said
I've heard him say Mia before.
So, all right. So The Rock says, I had a tracking device on your car.
Like, have The Rock followed him there. Turns out he had a tracking device.
But then Shaw is there and Shaw drives away. For some reason, The Rock isn't like, we got him. All hands, all points bulletin.
Well, wasn't there a...
Yeah, but even the second he drives away,
Right.
just be like, we got him. We know where he is.
Also, just because Shaw backed down and drove away because it was a standoff,
Right.
when he drives away, they have absolutely no more protection. the guy who had the guy who had the sniper laser
Right.
on them. Once Shaw drives away, that takes away their bargaining chip.
Right.
They could have both been executed on the spot.
Well, whatever.
What has?
But here's the most egregious, insulting thing was Brian puts himself in prison, flies to the United States, puts himself in prison, gets himself locked up, gets into a fight with 4 different guys with shivs, just to talk to Braga to get a little bit of information.
He's on a flight for over 24 hours. He
That's
risks
right.
his life. He risks his freedom.
Everything.
Because if he didn't do it in under 24 hours, they would have kept him for life.
Risked everything to get the one single piece of information, which is that Letty has no memory. And when he goes to tell Vin Diesel that, Vin Diesel's like, that information's for you.
He doesn't get to tell him. He comes back and he goes, I found out what's up.
Yeah.
And Vin Diesel literally says, okay, that was on you. You want to go there to settle your own
Right.
thing. I don't even need to know. Tonight is for her. And they don't discuss why he did it.
Insane.
It wasn't even like a thing where he was like being mean about it or anything. Like he wasn't like
No, it was one of those
he wasn't
fake deep things.
sore about anything.
Yeah, it was like one of those fake deep things that
'Cause he
Dom likes to pull.
Because they were ready to all leave, and then Wonder Woman said, "Dom won't even leave without you." So
Right.
it was everything's all kosher,
Right.
But he just did that thing where it was like, he's just way too cool,
Right.
He's the coolest.
He doesn't need facts. All he needs is that Letty's in danger.
Well, he didn't even want to know what turned up of his. I mean,
Prison Break.
Prison Break. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like he could have stayed in. He was going to either three. There was 3 outcomes. He gets imprisoned for life.
Right.
He gets murdered in his cell.
Right.
Or he gets back.
Right.
He gets back and he doesn't want to know anything about it. And you would think Paul Bryan would be like, dude. And then he doesn't tell him because he goes and he still doesn't know right to this minute.
He doesn't know. That's crazy.
He doesn't know.
And
And then
now
I'll tell you another thing. Everybody who showed up for that street race is just waiting for them to get back. And no one ever comes back.
well, they didn't put money on it, so I guess people wouldn't care that much.
Yeah, but that reminds me of a time that I was playing Manhunt. I'm not even kidding. I was playing Manhunt, and it would get real. Manhunt is a game where we were little. It was almost like
Hide and
tag.
seek.
It was like hide and
Right.
seek, but it was like you were 2 teams, so you could have, let's say, 10 kids on one team, 10 kids on
Right.
another. And the idea was that one team is after the other team, and you would have 5 minutes to quote unquote go out,
Right.
And then you make boundaries. I don't know if anyone in the country does this.
That was how you played Manhunt, huh?
yeah.
With teams.
Oh yeah.
Huh.
We used to play with teams.
We used to do one guy was it, and then everybody would go scatter and hide, and the guy would have to hunt down people, and when he caught him, would put him in a prison, which was usually a sewer manhole cover. And then they could be broken out if another person could come break them out without getting caught.
That's true, but we played it with teams.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So, and we used to play, and you would make boundaries.
Right.
So, because there had to be a limit to the area you could
Sure,
you
to
could hide.
block this
Otherwise
tree,
it wouldn't make-
right.
So to this block, to that tree, to that car, but it
Yeah.
would be pretty extensive.
Yeah.
We would do it like I would say like blocks over blocks.
Sure.
Right? And the idea was you hide under cars and yards, but where I lived, it was like an apartment complex, and so we had wooded areas out the ass in like 5 locations. So this was like you would get into this shit, and then we would really, really play for keys. Like we would put on a camouflage. We all play with fake guns too.
Yeah.
And the rule for us too was and it was an honor system thing, but you knew if you heard brah, brah, oh, boom, 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 right? Then they'd be like, got you. And then you had to count to 20 before you could go again.
Okay.
And that was a way to help keep it like, so they're just not, if they see you, they just run after you and catch you. Like there was actually ammo and weapons and stuff.
Right, okay.
So if someone was hunting me, and let's say I was under a car, and I saw their footsteps, I could shoot at their feet and say, I got your feet, and then get out and run while they had to count to 20.
Right. Close your eyes and count to 20.
Yeah.
Right.
So then one time I hid in this wooded area. Dude, I burrowed in the mud, right? And I hid under like a log, and I just lay there still, and I knew time was passing, but I didn't really know how much. And I just fucking did it, and it was like starting to get dark. I was in there for like 2-3 hours, and I was like, I didn't want to lose. I was waiting to hear, because usually you'll see somebody. It was 20 kids playing. You'll come across somebody. I stayed tucked in there. Finally, I was like, I'm gonna come out and just see what's up. And I went through the whole boundaries, all the neighborhood, everything. I couldn't find anybody. Right? And I'm like, the fuck? Because if you call the game, you yell it in the streets.
Sure.
We're calling the game. You gotta let everybody know.
Yeah.
I couldn't find anybody. I'm walking around and I hear, coming from my friend Jay Garcia's apartment where his family lived, I hear people singing happy birthday. I'm like, what is, I hear a lot of people, and I go up to the window, I look in, everybody who's playing is attending a birthday party. Nobody, everyone they had been done for like an hour. I was just laying under a log like a fucking moron. Okay. This is what I feel these people at the finish line were like. They were just like, I mean, you're partying. I guess they had like things to distract them, but after a while, weren't they like, did these fucking people go home?
Yeah, I guess. Or got busted by the cops.
Who knows?
So let's talk about the jump. An unlikely series of events involving Tyrese. We can't even get into that.
Just fast forward to the fact that they track them that they're going to a NATO base in Spain.
They threw paint. It's the one place in Spain that uses this paint.
And I got a little. We got a little distracted. I'm a little bit ashamed to say I'm a little bit confused about why with the paint and why they're going to Spain. I don't really know.
Well, that's where the piece is. The final piece to make that super weapon is.
Okay,
that's what they're there getting.
Okay, this weapon. You're right. It's very comic booky.
It is.
So there's a hunt. It's everything's gonna come to a clash.
Yeah, and
they have a tank.
Yeah,
Shaw is with Letty and
the crazy Chinaman who knows
how to fight everybody.
Yeah, the fighter.
I don't know if is he a Chinese guy? Well, he's a Chinese guy, not a Chinaman. But he's.
I watch Big Lebowski too much. I apologize for that. Any people of Chinese descent out there, my apologies. I'm sorry about that.
So the Oriental guy is.
I listen. I could say Chinaman. My sister-in-law is Japanese, so I'm.
You got a Limey, a Spick, and an Oriental charging down the road in this tank, right? I can say Spick. I am one.
Right.
So there you go. All right. So anyway, but you're watching along, so you know what just happened.
Yeah.
I've never, ever seen outside of a Mortal Kombat or a comic book movie or something like that, the likes of what we just saw.
Right. Vin Diesel crashed his car on purpose and used the momentum of the crash to propel him over the gap in a two-lane bridge highway.
Yeah.
Over the gap to catch Letty.
At the perfect timing in midair.
Yeah.
She catapulted
off the tank
because she was caught in like a slingshot situation.
Yeah.
And she was on the tank, and a car that was hooked up to the tank swung around, slammed into the highway, which catapulted her in the air.
She was going to fall to her death.
Every action sequence we've ever seen in this series so far, it just took a shit on it because the one where Dom was raced his car underneath the fireball.
Forget
of the
about
tank.
that.
Okay, the one well, it just topped its own because I never seen anything like the thing The Rock did earlier. I just never saw anything like it.
Jump off.
It was unbelievable to the point of like even watching it in the movie was like how the
right,
not in a bad way, like almost unbelievable. Like how did they even do that?
Yeah, it's great.
And this just blew it away.
He caught her midair and then landed safely on a windshield.
She was before this, they were nothing but, they worked in a body shop and they were street racers.
Right.
It's one thing to end up learning how to handle a gun. It's one thing to end up like you can rough it up with somebody.
Yeah.
I'll even say, look, this guy's a martial artist. All of a sudden, you're like a crazy action hero. Look, adrenaline kicks in. You fight somebody. You shoot a gun. But the feat of precision accuracy.
I know.
I mean, it's just.
But I'll tell you this: unlike the John McClane turn that I hated, where he was suddenly a superhero, I want this to go. I want this
Keep going.
I want it to keep going. I want the movie that we're going to watch tomorrow night with the audience. I want it to just be a straight up Iron Man movie. Like I just want to see shit going on everywhere.
I agree.
Whereas John McClane, I was like,
for some reason too, and the characters all started in a normal place. Like that was the Beverly Hills Cop kiss of death for me too.
Right, wrong direction for that series,
but not for this one.
No, perfect direction for this.
So
series.
he just catches. I mean, we had to like even rewind it and watch it again, but we just paused it because after he catches her in midair, they somehow both land
in a romantic cuddle
safely on the hood of the car.
Whew. All right, so you want to rewind it, rewatch it, and then we'll go through to the end?
I do, and another thing that we said we were going to do was, when we can, is to get into the making, which I'd love to see that right there.
That would be amazing.
And we got to see the commentary on this.
Yeah, I'd love to hear Justin Lin explain this stuff.
Yes.
We got to get Chris Morgan somewhere. I mean, I hope this is coming across like we love this.
I hope so.
Because we do.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, like, this was the whole point. We're celebrating everything that is... If you so choose to not suspend disbelief, that's where we land.
Right.
But still in celebration.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. All right, so we're going to rewind that. We're going to watch it, but we're going to go straight through to the end now unless something amazing happens. Stick around for 10 seconds. Just see where we're at. And we'll,
this is
ride or die, Sal.
We didn't stop it this much in any other movie.
No, this is my favorite one.
Yeah,
This is my favorite one. All right, we'll be back. Whew. Well, we saw the ending. We saw the Tokyo Drift tie-in with Jason Statham. Statham.
Well, let's just jump into real quick about what happened here. Okay, so they capture Shaw after the tanker.
Yeah,
they have him at their base, and what happens is it turns out Shaw has sent his henchmen to the beach.
Yeah,
to get Mia and Jack, Brian's wife and son.
Right,
honest cop. Who's the only name we didn't get because Wonder Woman we just found out is Giselle. Honest cop takes Jack. They capture Mia.
Right.
So he says, this is how it's going to go down. You're going to let me go right now. Otherwise, I'm going to kill Mia like I always said I was going to. They're shocked. And then they let him go. And then,
The Rock pulls a gun on a base commander, an American soldier.
Oh, right.
And says, you're going to let him go.
Robert, what happens is the commander says exactly what we said out loud. We were thinking was, this is a terrorist situation.
Right.
There's no way at all, by the way, that they would sacrifice Mia.
Right. For an entire country of people that they're going to terrorize.
They said it could kill billions of people. It can kill millions of people.
That's right.
And that's what the guy says. He said, there's no way we're going to give this up right now. This is millions versus one life.
Right.
And then The Rock, once again, becomes a criminal.
Good.
By pointing a gun at the officer. And he says, it does change it. Where are you going right now?
No, I'm just shutting it down.
Wait, is this a DVD?
No, this is a rental.
Oh, so we can't watch the... Got it. I was going to watch the extras right now.
Oh, there's no extras here, yeah.
So The Rock points a gun at the head officer, and he says, no, it does change the game.
Right.
We are letting them go right now, and we're saving Mia's life. Okay? At that moment, he becomes a criminal again, which he's already a criminal now. He let him go.
Right.
He did a few things that were criminal. I remember in the last couple ones. But in front of witnesses...
Well, he's running over cops in London, The Rock. At a certain point, he's like, sorry, brothers.
Yeah. So he points the gun at him, and he forces them to let him go. And Rock says to them, I want you to know something. The second, because I'm doing this right now, the second you let this guy go, there's no way our government will ever allow you...
No more amnesty.
Amnesty, immunity, nothing. To which Toretto says...
Quip comes.
We didn't... the minute we were born, we didn't have amnesty.
Right.
And
Because they were born in the United States of America.
Right.
They seem to be doing well for themselves
They
as
were
small
just born.
business people.
They were born in this life. This is
That's
who
it.
they are. It's
Ride or die, baby.
right. So they go now immediately. Tej, not Tez,
Right.
Tej, Ludacris,
Yeah.
disables Shaw's cell phone.
Sure.
Like, if it's that easy, they could have done that a lot. But anyway, he disables Shaw's cell phone so Shaw can't call to give the command to kill Mia.
Right.
Okay? And then they literally jump right in the cars after they let him go and start chasing him again.
It made no sense because it was like you guys had him in your possession. There was no reason to let him go to not make a phone call to get him back. But it turns out a plane is landing and Mia's on the plane.
Yeah, but hold on, though.
Okay.
Another one here is that when they're driving away, Shaw calls them. He does use his phone. Oh, she says, what about Mia?
Yeah,
Right.
he tries to make a call, but it's blocked.
Oh, no, hold on. We find out that there's a double cross, which you called.
I did call that. Yeah. The Rock's assistant, I said early on, I was like, she's going to.
She's playing both sides, and she ends up being Shaw's
Right.
girlfriend,
Right.
right?
Yeah, they walk out holding hands,
They walk out
which you
holding hands.
loved. You were like, they're holding hands.
So they just like let them see.
Yeah.
So then they walk out. So she says, "What about Mia?" And Shaw says to her, which I don't know her name either. We don't know any of the Rock sidekicks.
Yeah.
So he says, "We don't need her anymore. Kill her."
Right.
And and I guess they don't show that cell phone not going through though.
No, they do.
They
You
do?
missed it. You missed it.
Okay. But the point there being, yes, they do need her. They absolutely need her, especially since he knows she's about to be on the plane that they're headed to, where these guys are also following them to in high pursuit.
Right.
So, because once they shoot Mia and kill her, he loses all. But
They get to shoot the plane out of the air.
right.
Although they wouldn't know that he shot me until hypothetically days later. It's not like immediately they know me.
No,
is
because
dead.
he said, "You want to know? Call her right now." And Brian called her, and she was like,
yeah, but they just knew that he had him hostage, not that.
You're telling me a mastermind of this. But the only
No,
thing
I
you
don't think
save-
you're following.
The only thing you save by not shooting, not giving the command to shoot her, the only thing you save is that you have a bargaining chip. Whereas if they were to catch him again, they could be like, "I guess I got Mia still.
Right.
I'll kill her."
No, it definitely doesn't make a lot of sense.
How about this one?
Go ahead.
How about? I have her. I'm going to get on this plane. She's there. When I safely board the plane, we'll let her go. Whatever.
But then that would have avoided the awesome
right,
sequence that we just saw.
which was pure. It was
A
pure
15-mile runway.
The runway was never ending. There was 9 fights going on at once. You guys,
It was awesome. It was fucking
It was
great.
everything you wanted.
Yeah.
It blew away. If you remember the ending to Too Fast and Too Furious, Brian and Roman were racing alongside the drug lord's boat.
Yeah.
And they jumped a ramp, they crashed into the boat, simultaneously killing him.
Yeah.
And that was the crescendo. That was the ending. It was 10 seconds. And then after the boat crashed, it was over.
Oh, the movie was over. Right.
I don't remember the last time I saw an action sequence like that.
It was unbelievable.
Defies all logic and odds in an unbelievable way.
Yeah.
In a fantastical, sensational way.
They brought down a plane with a harpoon gun and a Mazda Miata.
That's right.
That's fucking pretty impressive, man.
And the fights were unbelievable.
Ah,
Everybody
it's great.
got their due.
Dom headbutted a fucking 400-pound dude through a crate.
At the exact same moment for him to hit Shaw, who was about to kill Brian.
That was great.
And it was a flying headbutt.
Yeah.
It was like literally like Jimmy Superfly Snuka off the top
That's
rope.
right. And then Dom punched the big guy so hard he flew in the air where the Rock caught him and fucking slammed his foot down.
Oh, that was unbelievable.
It was great.
He clotheslined him.
He clotheslined him. Right. That was
unreal. And then what's her face? The double crosser got her comeuppance. She did.
Shot with a harpoon.
She got shot with a titanium harpoon that launched her body into the air. Besides killing her through the heart on contact, they then, for the rest of the movie, dragged her body along on the cord. Right? One thing happens, though, big time.
Yeah.
Han loses Giselle
Giselle
who
dies.
sacrificed her life to save his
Right.
while they were hanging off the cars. And she actually didn't even shoot the guy. Then Han
She
had to
tried.
beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And Han threw him through the engine of the plane.
Right.
And that was rough.
Nobody wanted to see it happen, but we knew, given that Han dies in Tokyo Drift, that and that she wasn't in Tokyo Drift, that she had to be written out somehow.
The plan for them was to elope to Tokyo like
Right.
they always dreamed.
Yeah.
She wasn't in the movie, hence she couldn't be there. And I asked you this because Tokyo Drift came so far along. Was there any reference to any chain of events?
None of it.
Which is basically like the most exciting thing that's ever happened in his life. It's never mentioned at all.
That's right.
Right. And we find out that Han dies at the end of Tokyo Drift.
And Jason Statham.
But you remember in Tokyo Drift, you saw him racing and you saw that
You saw him
accident?
die. You just don't see who got out of the car. You just thought it was a regular car accident. And now they reveal that there was a little more to it than that.
So he dies in a car accident.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I didn't see Tokyo Drift. So, but like what? But he was the main character. And then
No, he wasn't the main
Oh, he
character. He
wasn't?
was like there was an army brat that moved to Japan and got into drifting, and that's where he met Han.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Han was like his mentor.
Okay.
Yeah.
So him dying wasn't the end of the movie.
No, but it was a big moment in the movie.
It was a big moment. Okay.
Yeah.
And we just found out that was a murder.
Yes.
And that was Jason Statham.
That's right.
Okay.
And that's tomorrow night. We get to follow up to that.
We know what happened because I saw the trailer.
Yeah.
We know who Jason Statham is. We won't
He's
say
somebody's.
it.
Yeah. Well, he's somebody's brother, right?
Well, I didn't know if we wanted to say it.
Do you know whose brother? I don't
Yeah,
know who it is.
I do.
Who?
Shaw's.
Is it Shaw's brother?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is exciting.
Yeah.
All right.
And I mean, everyone except Giselle, Wonder Woman, makes it out alive.
Yeah.
And then
Well, Han. I guess.
what happens is they all get off the plane.
Yeah.
And at this point, Letty's with them, and Dom's the last one on the plane. He decides to turn around,
Yeah.
even though he thinks it's going to crash, just to make sure once and for all, because Shaw was still alive. And he grabs the briefcase that Shaw needed.
Right.
Which, by the way, the plane was mobile and came to them. And the briefcase they were going to get was on the plane.
Yeah.
And I want to know why the entire team of Shaw's team had to go to the plane to get the briefcase, and it couldn't have just been brought to them wherever, whenever. Like, because the plane was his, so the briefcase was actually in his possession indirectly, right?
No, Shaw walked out of the military base carrying the chip. He brought the chip on the plane.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Vin Diesel drives
understood they got the chip during the tank.
Yeah, you see him walk out when he's holding the girl's
Gotcha,
hand. He had the chip.
gotcha, right.
Vin Diesel drives a car through the plane,
Yes.
through the front of the plane, screeches to a halt. You think he dies. Oh, the car flipped a few times. He walks out. A smirk or two, but not too many smirks.
It had to be a solemn.
Right.
It was a solemn moment because they realized they lost.
And then Letty, who is a U.S. soldier murdering, family murdering terrorist.
She was in the tank. And part of all the crushing of the families in the cars.
Just gets a new lease on life.
Well, he says this. So this is worth billions of dollars.
Yeah.
And then The Rock says, "Name your price." And he says 1327, which is a reference to his old address, meaning he wants amnesty and immunity for all of them. That's the price.
Right.
Not only did The Rock say
Specifically
that it'll be completely above his head
Yeah.
once Shaw leaves to grant them any of that, but The Rock
Turns out it wasn't.
That was above him even when he was not compromised. But then The Rock, when he held his gun up to the high-ranking military,
Right.
how does he even have the power, A, to grant them that, or B, not to be on the run himself?
I don't know. And then only honest cop gets a job with the U.S. FBI when she's not even an American citizen, when she's a criminal on the run
With $11 million.
with $11 million.
She was part of Dominic. She was living off of drug money.
That's right.
That she got by double crossing.
Right.
She basically was an accessory to everything that their crew did.
That's right.
Which makes her completely guilty by association. She was also on the lam.
That's right.
And thus, he was hiding. He granted her, in the deal, obviously, immunity as well. But the fact that she walked out with a badge,
She's got a job
is
now.
confusing to me because, fine, I'll grant you amnesty, but it's been proven you can't be trusted. But then again, she did it. She
did what The Rock did.
She did what The Rock did.
Right.
So The Rock can't throw
Probably
stones.
covered for it too.
The Rock can't throw stones.
Gave him the house back. Makes another quick shot at Tyrese's forehead, which I appreciated.
Yeah, then they're saying grace. They're all together as a happy family saying grace, which is a little rough because they never stop for 1 second in six movies to dwell on one other life lost outside of their clique. But it's fine.
All right.
Fine.
So how do you feel? You ready for tomorrow?
Honestly, that movie blew my socks off.
Yeah. And tomorrow we're going to be watching it in a theater with friends and fans and nuggalos. It's going to be phenomenal, dude.
Yeah.
It's going to be phenomenal.
Honestly, if you're coming tomorrow night, okay, if you're coming tomorrow night and you are not balls to the wall, A game, ready to twist and shout at this thing,
Right.
I will call you out. I will call you out. I want you guys that it's going to be like, it should be like Game 7 of a World Series.
You should go to a bar, get a few drinks before we start. Like,
not to the point where you're.
Don't embarrass us.
Don't be obnoxious.
Universal is going to be there. You got to make us look good.
Cheer and enjoy it with us. Don't
Right.
be the guy that's kind of just being loud and going against the grain and annoying everyone, or the guy.
Right. And I would say if you're not there, we're gonna do the live podcast afterwards. We're gonna release that as well.
Yeah, that'll be released as part of the 7th for this one.
Right.
And I will tell you, if you didn't get a chance to come to the screening, please come to the podcast. This fun's gonna spill over into Gotham Comedy Club tomorrow night at 11:30. I know it is a Tuesday at 11:30 p.m. I would say suck it up.
Suck it up.
This is a long time coming, folks.
Yeah.
You know, so just we hope to see you there. Again, we're foregoing the call.
Yep. So I got to run and do Tell 'em Steve Dave.
Tickets for Nashville. You know what, guys? If you can drop a rating and a comment on iTunes when you have a chance,
appreciated.
it makes a big difference. I think that we are wrapped up with 6.
We'll be all right. We'll get to Tokyo Drift sometime in the next few weeks.
Yeah, although we kind of like, it is basically its own thing because we know exactly what we need to know right now. So we're confident going into tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be great. All right, guys, we'll be back soon with a full report on 7.
All right.
All right, buddy.
I heard that Rome wasn't built in a day. Then how come everyone is rushing to get ahead? And if I seem to be reserved, that's just my way. Your questions seem like you're interrogating me. Yeah, I try. Then again, I don't try. I get an F for effort. I get a D next time. I heard the lemon metaphor 4 million times. And I don't stand for lemonade, don't ask me why. And would a beverage stand be a job that be desired? And where would I get the wood, and should I try? Should I try? Then again, I don't try. I get an F for effort. I get a 65. Yeah, I try, yeah, then again I don't try. I get an F for effort. I might as well just the currency don't grow like leaves on trees. Then how come my money comes and goes so seasonally? And I wish farmers planted plants instead of thieves. My friend pays a ton of green for greener groceries. Yeah, she tries. Then again, she don't try. She gets an F for effort. She'll plant a tree next time. Yeah, she tries. Then again, I don't try. I get an F for effort. I get a D next time. Yeah, I try. Then again, I don't try. I get an F for effort. I get a 65.